For 38 days between the months of September and November, YouTube has paid me zero ad revenue for my videos, despite running ads on them for nearly 800,000 views. This is a bug that has not just affected me, but has affected hundreds and likely thousands of content creators on this channel. The hashtag that we are using to describe this is hashtag YouTube wage theft. And don't just take my word for this. There is a Forbes article describing what has happened in the description below. Now, this has apparently affected my channel between the dates of September 26th, 2020 and November 3rd, 2020. Now, to be 100% transparent with you guys, I believe, according to my metrics, that YouTube has started paying me ad revenue starting on November 4th. But I am not 100% sure of that and cannot be 100% sure of that until December the 10th, when November's ad revenue is finalized in Google AdSense. And even then, I will not see that money until November 21st, assuming that this bug is fixed. Now, between the dates of September 25th and November 3rd, you likely saw ads on my videos. YouTube, despite their metrics showing me that they would pay me, particularly throughout the entire month of October, which is one of the main reasons I have not talked about this or mentioned it, they determined that my channel had invalid ad activity and therefore refunded 100% of the ad revenue that they said they would pay me to the advertiser. Now that's very important because the YouTube wage theft hashtag is a little bit misleading, so I want to make that very clear. While I certainly got screwed, it's not like YouTube just took the money and ran. Now, does that make it right? No, absolutely not, because 100% of my ad traffic was not invalid by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, like I said, I've had two of the biggest months in my channel history in September and October, and I was not paid whatsoever for October. In light of this revelation, I really need some help. Certainly, YouTube ad revenue is not my only source or stream of income. Thank God. I'm glad I have diversified my income. That being said, when you are expecting, and I'll just be honest with you guys, when you're seeing in your YouTube metrics thousands of dollars and suddenly that number becomes zero, that's a major setback. It's not a crushing setback, but it's certainly one where, at least for this month and possibly next month, I'm really going to need viewer support to keep things going. Unfortunately, I've already had to cancel a trip I was planning for this weekend to go, or next weekend, sorry, it is the weekend, but to go to the 12 Hours of Sebring and cover that race. Obviously, I've had to restructure my expenses because of going to St. Petersburg and Petit Le Mans and covering those races in person, and then realizing that the money that I made covering those races, I really didn't make. So please, either head over to my Patreon page. I know a lot of people have already jumped over there since I mentioned this on my community tab, but as of right now, if there was ever a time you felt like joining for even a month on the Patreon page, this would be greatly appreciated. Even if you jump in at the $1 tier, it would help me immensely. And if you want to get something physical in exchange for your money, please head over to race92.com, David Land section there. You can get a shirt like the one I'm wearing right here. And if you buy 2 shirts, it could be any shirt on the whole Race 92 website. But if you use the code DAVID10 at checkout, you can save 10% on buying 2 shirts from Race 92. Either way, Patreon or Race 92 will help me out and help me recoup some of the losses that Google kind of misled me to think I was earning and clearly was not. Now, in the future, in fact, starting this week, there will be some changes. It won't be to the content. In fact, because of the fact that it appears, according to my AdSense analytics, and I want to be very clear that the mistake I made in October was trusting the YouTube analytics. There are YouTube analytics for how you get paid and AdSense analytics. I know it sounds so stupid. YouTube sometimes is a very confusing platform. The AdSense, which actually pays YouTubers, is telling me that starting on November 4th, I began getting paid again. So based on that knowledge, starting on Wednesday, I will be uploading on a regular schedule once again. Things will be normal. Now, the day before on Tuesday, I will be launching a new channel. It will be a backup channel just in case something crazy happens to this one. I will be uploading unique content there. This video is not about announcing that channel though, so look for those details on Tuesday, but it will be racing related. So I hope that we will be able to reach the subscriber threshold for monetization very, very quickly on that video. The other thing that you will eventually start seeing are advertisements that I have personally sold on this channel. Like I said, YouTube did not pay me at all for 800,000 views. I am sure there are companies out there that would jump at the chance to advertise on an auto racing channel that can pull in that kind of views. I have not really pursued advertising, outside advertising. I always thought it was fine letting Google handle that, but clearly I cannot rely on them in the way that I used to be able to. So this is certainly a scare, and this is certainly something that will keep me striving to be even more independent from YouTube even than I currently am. As for why this happened, now I want to be very clear when I say this because there's a lot of, this is a very hot button issue right now. But considering the date it ended and considering all of the dates leading up to it, I would be very surprised if this wasn't some sort of election interference. And now I want to be very, very clear that I don't think this benefit or hurt any particular candidate. I could never know that information. I think this is something that YouTube noticed, caught, and for whatever reason, because I don't think it just affects small channels, though the small channels were the only ones, including mine, that lost all of the ad revenue. But I believe YouTube noticed that there were bots clicking on political ads for whatever reason, caught that and refunded that money to the advertisers. And it sucks, man, because certainly the ad spend that particularly the politicians were making for those few weeks, especially leading up to the election, would have been great ad revenue to make, and that's clearly not happened. And in my speculation, there was some sort of nefarious issues or nefarious things going on there, and it sucks to get caught in the crossfire of that, to be quite honest with you. Going forward, like I said, things will be business as usual, but at the same time, I now realize that this is a possibility, and I didn't think it would be a possibility. I did not think that there would ever be a chance with as safe as my content is from a broad YouTube sense. I mean, people call me an edgelord or whatever. That's only in the racing context. I try to keep things very clean, and I try not to be completely outrageous in a mainstream sense, specifically for this reason. And through no fault of my own, I lost a month and 8 days of revenue, which is very disappointing to say the least. But through your guys' help, and believe me, you guys are the reason I get to do the things that I can do. You guys are the reason that I have a lower middle class income from making YouTube videos. I plan on continuing this for a long time. This year has beaten me down something fierce. This is just the next thing in a long stretch of bad things that have happened to me this year. But guess what? I still want to do this. I still will do this. And if this doesn't stop me, I don't know what will. Thank you guys so much for watching. Look out Tuesday for the new channel announcement, and then Wednesday, regular content resumes. Thank you guys for sticking with me, and we'll see you in the next video.